Hey, hello. I hope you can see me now. Sorry it took a while. I had some technical difficulties, and the live broadcast actually did a whole reading, but it wasn't showing, so that's all okay. Maybe it's a part of what's at stake today and the energies of today. I'm sure it relates of like blockages and things that happen in the static in the air with like this super full moon in Taurus. Yeah. So, as I like to do, I love to start the reading with raising the vibration, and I love doing it with music, with sound, with singing. And the idea is that by that, we are able to connect to our highest vibration and the highest timeline. The idea of a highest timeline has to do with the micro choices we make every single day that either move us into our destiny, and not just our destiny but also just move us into what we've been asking for, into our prayers, as long as they are fitting with that destiny. Or we can choose other other avenues, and it goes to even like, do I, what time I wake up in the morning, to do I take a right or a left, or why did I decided to go to the grocery store now, and the person that I've seen there, right? So it's also all about synchronicities. And so the only thing we need to do to make sure that we're on that highest of timeline and making those choices is really taking note of our vibration. And it's not, I mean, we're humans, and humans are I call a sack of emotions, and emotions are these, like, they're compared to water and shamanism, and it's about the waves, right? Waves of emotion. So we are expected to have a high and low emotions, high and low vibrations. So I'm not telling you to always be on a high. um, it's not possible, and you don't need it. But those micro choices, make sure that when you make a choice that's guided by your highest timeline, that you're making it on the highest vibration possible. And so I say, when you're confused, when you're in low vibration, actually the best advice is don't do, don't act on it, because it could be a snowball. But actually, when you're in that vibration, it's about checking yourself, and doing some kind of revision, and also maybe just some self-care to raise that vibration. Okay, so that's what I mean. I hope you understand that. I'm also gonna let you know that you can reply in the comments if you want me to pull a card for you. I also saw already a request from before, so I will do that. Yeah, so let's start. The song I chose for today is going to be a Shabbat song, and it's calling the four archangels to be here with us on Shabbat, which is a holy day of the week, the one day, 24 hours, where we're leaving those little micro choices, and like where to go to the supermarket and what to do. And actually, it's more about being. And I think it also respects the fact that we have high and low vibration. It's asking, relax and connect to spirit and connect to your guides. Okay, connect to the angels. So I am not religious, but I am a spiritual guide, and I feel very spiritual. And so the archangels are global, universal, and I would love for them to be a part of this episode. So here we go. יבוא מיכאל, יבוא גבריאל, יבוא אוריאל, יבוא רפאל, שלום עליכם, מלאכי השלום, שלום עליכם, מלאכי עליון. יבוא מיכאל, יבוא גבריאל, יבוא אוריאל, יבוא רפאל, שלום עליכם, מלאכי השלום, שלום עליכם, מלאכי עליון. איי, 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 איי. Thank you, archangels. Thank you for my students and clients that keep reminding me of the archangels and how they're always with us. I was even listening to a podcast recently from this woman talking about the different types of the soul. So I'm like preparing for my class, Know Thy Soul. I've been telling people about it. If you're interested, you can ask me. I can send you a link. And there, they're talking about the different types of souls: human, earth-based souls, interplanetary, and angelic souls. Speaking of how angels could even have their own representation in a human form, and sometimes they'll be, the nurse, the teacher, right? The school teacher, um, the milkman, the baker, right? So these are not these like Jesus and Krishna types. And yet they have this angelic feeling to them. And so, what I'm saying is, when you're calling on the angels and the archangels, notice and look, because there are angels all around us, walking, earth angels, okay, that are hearing your call and just come, are followed by spirit, followed by these archangels, and are always there to support you, and you can always ask for that support. Okay, so let's start the reading for today. And I'm going to start with this general read, and I'm going to use the tarot deck that I like because this is such a powerful full moon. I've been feeling it already. I wrote in the description, I feel it's a very bold moon. It's like one that um, doesn't let you give yourself up. Like if you have anything that you need to do for yourself, it's like it's very, although Taurus is earth, and maybe that's why, like the earth, like you feel security and grounded enough to start executing what you need and what you want, and like speaking boldly, and you know um yeah, really taking care of business for yourself. That's what I've been feeling, and I've been talking to some friends and colleagues of mine, and I'm getting the same impression. So let's see. Let me know what you feel about this full moon, even before I'm making the read, right? Like, what have you been feeling in the past day, 2 days? You can feel the energy of a full moon up to 3 days before. Okay. Yeah, so let's start. Let's see what the tarot are telling us. And like I said, I'm using these animal tarot deck. I feel like they're just like nicer and cute and fun. And also, an ode to the Taurus animal. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, so the first card that I'm going to bring is just the situation as we see it, like right now in the second, the Shabbat, this time, like with your micro choice of joining and viewing this either now or in the replay. Let's see what the energy is about. Okay, so it's 10 of autumn. Makes sense, at least for me, like in the northern hemisphere, it is autumn. 10 means success, completion. It's also this combination of the zeros and ones. And so, like, I even feel like it's this balance between masculine and feminine, between being and doing, between sending your, asking for something and being very straightforward about it, but then releasing, letting go, and trusting the universe. Okay, so it's like fulfillment of wishes. So that's 10 already. Interesting. And here we come up with the golden retriever. Okay, and what it says here, I'll just read and we'll tell me what you think as well. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. Well, very fitting, since I've been, I started the read with a Shabbat song. It's very ancestor related and very much not my thing usually, but I've really been feeling that. Proud of my heritage, and proud of the tribe and the lineage that I come from, and the wisdom that they have about the soul, and about peace and love. So definitely, I feel that. And also, yeah, I think this relates to what I was saying before. And the Taurus is very ground, very earth, so it's like very material things. And here it is saying basically that you're counting. It's basically counting your blessings, right? Like from what you're seeing around, and also wherever it's like, oh wait, I haven't picked this up, I haven't cleaned this up. I think it's also like taking responsibility, taking ownership, and it being like easier than it was before. Even like the smallest things that should be easy and weren't, if you know what I mean, all of a sudden, like if you choose to act on it and it comes out of this like knowing that your families are secure. So it's coming from like, no, it's like, I feel that it's this feeling of not like, oh, I'm stressed and I need to be secure, but actually like I can be more secure. I can allow for my family to be secure, and I'm in charge. I can do something about it. Or saying like counting your blessings and also counting like what haven't I done? Oh, so then there's more options. This is something that I can do. Okay. And it's very much like what does the tribe need? Those needs, and what I do has to do with, yeah, your loved ones, your family, your tribe. Okay, your soul family. Like for example, I was just launching this course, and a shout out to all the students, all the future students. I'm looking for those old souls that are ready to explore themselves on this 8-week course. And as I was doing it, I was also sharing a podcast episode that I was on with Ashley Sunshine. And it's so interesting. As I was like making the notes and sending the emails, I realized, wow, this is so cool. I like gave Ashley so much credit, and like, but from enthusiasm, and like, here's a link to the website, and here's the podcast episode, but here's the podcast at large. And like, as if like I was feeling, if I'm sending out those encouraging words about my friend and what she's doing, it's elevating me too, and it's like elevating our soul tribe, our soul family. And I got so excited about it that it wasn't even like, I would equally be excited about seeing how many people clicked on my course as much as like how many people clicked on her episode, on our Spotify episode, or podcast. And it's the same, and that's what I'm feeling here. It's the same, how like we're feeling these interconnected, there's like this we feeling of that inner circle, and what can we do to support that? That's the feeling we have. Okay, so moving a bit back, like where did we just come out of, and how is this relating to what we're feeling now, is the card that I'm going to pull. And that card is the Prince of Autumn. So here we are in autumn again. And Prince in this case is just above the 10. So this is interesting. Like chronologically, we're going backwards, but actually from the numbers and everything, it's exactly like forward. Putting it out there. I don't know what it means. And it's a seahorse, which is also interesting. We had a family conversation around the dinner table the other day, and I brought up, we were talking about gay and lesbian rights, for example, and like what it means, just like sexual orientations with the kids, and like helping them understand that everything is okay, and allowed and natural. And I started talking to them about the natural world, and I brought up seahorses and how there's such an amazing creature that they can choose. Speaking of micro choices, the seahorses, right, they have in them the ability to choose if it's about the survival and security of their species. By the way, they can decide if there's not enough males or not at all, then half of the group will become male, and vice versa. If there's not enough female, they'll become female, and then secure the future generation. So it's basically very, very resourceful and magical. And this, these coins are flying all around. So I think that's what this card is about this resourcefulness and like extra magic that you might have just found, right? And I was just saying, counting your blessings. Like, look, actually, another shout out to a great friend, Chen Levy, who does amazing products, skincare, and so on. And she was telling me that she put in her business on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT like spit out so many different ways that she can earn from her business and succeed that she hasn't been doing. Right, which is kind of like the seahorse. Look at all the abundance that you have, and she hasn't done anything other than just like split or think differently or like give it to ChatGPT, which also, by the way, is a huge resource. In like a ceremony I had this revelation that this AI and technology in general, this is humanity's babies, and instead of being afraid of it or like having this weird relationship with it, can we like accept AI? Can we accept technology into the tribe and work with it and work smartly with it as well, for these resources? Like, I've been using a lot more AI now, and it's like mind blowing what I'm able to do. And all of a sudden, this concept of energy, right, and time, material, and it's like completely changed with the help of technology. So there's something about that as well coming up. I'll just read if this is helpful for someone. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. Okay, so in case you all have been feeling like you're planning your next break or your next growth cycle. That's definitely what this is bringing on. And then at the same time, today, now specifically, as we're going to the weekend of the full moon, there's also like, look, you've done a lot, you know, you've done everything you can right now. There's probably more than you can do, but now just be content of all that you have and all that you will become, and the love you have around you, and the security you can bring to yourself and to your family. Okay, so that's these two cards. Now, what is this energy, and how is it moving us forward? Like, what can we expect? What can we expect? Is the card that I'm gonna pull. We can expect winter right after autumn. So the card that came up is the Seven of Winter, and it has the magpie bird. So I feel like it's also like this more airy sign, and she has a key in her beak. I want you to see this. You can see it. Okay. Interesting, right? This is what's coming. So she actually has a lot of boons, right, in her nest. Although I'm not sure why a bird needs all these trinkets. It's like trinkets that she finds because it's shiny. Yeah, so I feel like not all that shines is gold, or like even here, like what does a bird have to do with gold? So I'm gonna read this, but just intuitively, this is also saying be careful as you're like creating plans on how to move on with your endeavors, and then you're seeing all that you have. Make sure that you're not being diverted with your focus by all these shiny weird things, or like seeing all that you have but then realizing, oh, but there others have so much more. Like there's this cautionary tale here. We tend to, as we are going through a growth spurt, this is something that's less it's something that we want, and at the same time the ego is afraid of it. And so a lot of times the ego starts coming in with limiting beliefs and making us start looking all over the place for what someone else is doing or what someone else needs, instead of realizing what you have and like following with it. Okay, so it's interesting. I've gotten this, I said before, this is the second time I'm trying this reading today because I had some technical difficulties. And yeah, even in the first one, there was something about like a warning coming up about refusal of the call. That was the card that came up before. And it was really saying how, notice that you're on your calling, you're doing your calling, you're on your journey, and you're expanding, and you're listening to spirit and doing these things. And it's also very specific and material, very material stuff, especially in a spiritual journey. That matters. You're doing like serious material steps. Okay, and be aware that, like, that you're not confused in this material world. Okay, that you're not being distracted by this material world, and keep focused and remember the call. Remember what was your specific calling, not what you should do. you know so what it says is, caution will help you avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time and peace of mind. We talked about technology, right? Be aware of the results of your actions, as well as what others might be doing behind your back. Okay, so basically, as you start shining and moving forward, a lot of eyes are put on you as well. And you do need to be careful of how you portray yourself, or at least this is actually a place of talking about spiritual protection, energetic protection. So you can stay in your, I want to say, in your bubble. Stay in your bubble. Yeah. There's a recommendation here as the days go by here, as you're like putting the steps to stay within your bubble, your protection bubble, and your own energy, and keep that going. Don't be distracted by the energies around, no matter how like fancy they are. Okay, so that's the tarot read, and I'm going to supplement it by the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck by my teacher Alberto Violdo and Colette Barone Reed, right? Is it you? Yes. Thank you. They're both amazing people. I have to work with them. That's great. Okay. Great teachers. Okay. So what I like to do with the oracle is just give a little bit of a taste, and more flavor, and give us an idea of, again, like that hero's journey, or those highest timelines. Like, how does it serve, and what do we need to stay aware of? Okay, so the first card I'm going to pull is, now I like to work chronologically, so I'm going to look for past, present, and future, and how it relates. So the first one is going to connect to this Prince of Autumn, right? The seahorse that we were talking about. Please share in the comments if you have a question or a comment about what's happening here, technology. I said so many things. I would love to see what you think about it. Okay, so the first card here is called Overflow, okay, and it says overwhelm and plenty. So, how does that connect with our seahorse? Actually, I think it's connected to looking at all these resources that are abundant all around, and at the same time remembering that do not, it like goes back to that distraction I talked about in the future, right? So it's how you don't get overwhelmed. Don't have a better word. How do you don't get overwhelmed with everything around? And again, yeah, just focus and do your mission. But at the same time, notice how many opportunities, how many options do you have, right? I go back to that story of my friend Chen and what ChatGPT told her about her business. From one hand, it's amazing, right? So many options to have more flow, overflow, have more cash flow, have more business. At the same time, it was so much that it was so confusing. At the same time, also, you need to be careful not to like put yourself down for all that you haven't done or thought about, or like all that you have lost potentially in the past because you haven't done that. Okay, so that's what this is showing up for me. Yeah, the next one is going to be about this 10 of autumn. Okay, very happy, contentment, knowing that you are secure. Definitely the energy of this full moon. And I would say if you're looking for a full moon ceremony, you can even just light a candle and put in like whatever you want to let go of, so you could just be content, for example, with what you have, and also putting in a prayer of security, calling on that bull, secure bull, strong energy. Okay, finding those allies. Anyway, here's the card for it. Nice, yeah. So these cards are cute. So this is called a caterpillar. Okay, there's a cat and a caterpillar, and it's called opportunity. Okay, so the idea, there's two things. The cat is very intuitive, and it can we say like it can see in the dark, right? So when we're getting the cat energy, we know that there's something up ahead that we already intuitively know and can feel good about and also watchful for. Then the caterpillar is actually talking to us about the difference, right? The caterpillar is this stage before it goes into the cocoon and before it becomes a butterfly. So the caterpillar is, and I've also said this in different ways, it's like those micro choices. Don't get bogged by, this is exactly it. So don't get bogged by like, oh, I don't get this micro choice. I don't get why I did this versus that. Like, for example, I just made a little mistake in an email that I sent out. Sorry for anyone that got it wrong, where I didn't put a link that I need to put in a button. I'm still learning that technology thing. So I immediately sent another email. And that email said, whoops, and this is this and that. But actually, through that whoopsie, I realized I'm adding more value and I'm saying more things that I kind of missed on the first email. And also, maybe like somehow geniusly, I didn't think about that, but like a lot of times my emails go to spam, and I'm like, you know what, if it gets sent twice, maybe this is different, and now finally someone sees this email. So what I'm trying to say is like, you wouldn't imagine the butterfly that comes out of this caterpillar, right? And you can't even, it's like, it's not the same animal, although it's just the evolution of it. So what I'm saying is, be joyful and understand that all these secure measures that you're putting in, and all these moves that you're putting in, they are not what they seem, and they are connected to this evolution, to your sacred wish to, like, this transformation into a butterfly. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, the last card I'm going to pull here, and I'm seeing more coming on. If anyone wants a card, I'm going to start bringing in personal readings in a sec, is going to be about the Seven of Winter, what's coming up in the future. Okay, there was this cautionary tale, caution to avoid losing anything of what you've seen and gained. So let's see what's the card that's going to help us with that. Okay, so the card that came up is the Drifter. Okay, and we're seeing a boat that's going through this, like, honestly, this looks to me like the parting of the seas, like the Red Sea for some reason. But the Drifter, but it's really like talking about like moving different timelines, jumping different dimensions and timelines, and not getting confused by it. Okay, so we want to jump into different timelines. It means that sometimes like actions that we'll do won't make sense, or and we also need to like, and it says experience life as it comes. So here it's like make sure that you're not holding on to something that no longer works, even if it worked like a second ago. Maybe now it's not working anymore. Let it go. Let it go. You know, you're in flow, you're in movement. Let it go. Whatever you need is with you right now. Whatever is not with you right now is not yours. And if you start getting distracted and trying to find it, or you know, you're just gonna lose more, and you're gonna lose this stream, okay, of overflow, okay, of abundance, of transformation, of strength, right, of this intuitive cat. You're gonna lose it if you try to like just hold on to everything, or you know, be distracted by what everybody else is doing. The drifter, the focus is on the boat itself and on the horizon and where it's going. Don't even worry about what's around there. You're on your way and you're in a transition mode. So what again, what I'm getting is this full moon. We're gonna do it. We did a lot before it, and right now in it we can celebrate and feel that energy. Do your gratitude practices, for example, because then we're going on a ride. We're going on a ride, and you need to remember who you are and what you're doing. Remember your prayers, remember your allies, and stick to it. Okay, this is part of the test of the spiritual growth. So, very interesting. All right, so I only got one person here that wanted a reading. So, I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to pull it from the dream deck. I'm just gonna get who that person is because now I already forgot. I'm gonna look at it here. Nicole. Okay, so Nicole, I'm gonna pull a card for you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, Nicole, something interesting is happening to you. So the card that I pulled is the Stranger card for Nicole. And it says curiosity. First of all, this is like already transforming into a butterfly. And I'm getting like there is a strange spirit. I think what you're getting is an ally. You're getting an ally, a spirit ally. And I like the stranger and the curiosity in it. I think that there's like an invitation for you to explore a different realm of reality. And it's very magical, and curiosity is what will get you there. It's not physical, and it's going beyond it. I hope you understand this, and this comes with a person that you've just now met. It's going to be interesting. So, hope to hear from you on that. And I see that Chen would love a card. Chen is beautiful herbalist that I was talking about. Chen, I will pull you a card as well. Ah, look at that, Chen. You got the benefactor card. Look, there's cute mushrooms also. We like that. And it says grace and generosity. So, but the benefactor card actually talks about someone who is willing to sponsor you and support you. And that's also a reminder to you that you've been a benefactor to others. Okay. And also a reminder that you are in abundance. And so if someone is ready to support you and be your benefactor, in a way you can pay it forward, and you can also be extra generous and graceful. And the invitation that I'm getting from this card for you is for you to be in the frequency of abundance, even if you're connecting any limiting beliefs to abundance, like you have to just do it all on your own. And by the way, getting a benefactor is doing it on your own, okay? Getting a sponsor or a benefactor means that your energy, your feminine energy, okay, your being is being celebrated. It wants to be, and wants to support you, to continue with that energy. So you're still doing a lot just by being, and it's just different than like the more masculine approach of like I have to prove something, here it is, right? Like your products or whatever. This is more just your energy, and it's basically saying I want to support you so you can go beyond just the products. I want to support you coming out with your bubbly, beautiful, smart, and wise energy. Make sense, Chen? I think so. Okay, so I'm not seeing any other comments. Um, so have a beautiful weekend. Shabbat Shalom. I wish you all to find your highest timelines and that together we can move into a beautiful, peaceful, and loving earth.